Liverpool collapsed against Wolves, so opportunity knocks again for Manchester United to strengthen their grip on the Champions League places. We're going to discuss it all in today's video. Lots to discuss, so get involved with your opinions in the live chat and that comment section, and smash that like button for a Manchester United win tonight. I hope you wasn't laughing at Liverpool last night.
Laughing. I tell you what, I couldn't sleep because I was laughing. Oh, it's great when your arch enemy, right, is inept as that team is after spending £446 million in the summer. You can't but laugh. But listen, you shouldn't have to rely on others to achieve your aims. But when an inept Liverpool side hands you a gift to increase the gap for the Champions League, all you can do is laugh. And as a Manchester United fan, I am absolutely over the moon. When I woke up this morning, I was hoping I'd hear someone say that Manchester United have sent Wolverhampton Wanderers players, right, a bottle of champagne each, because in the last week they have done Manchester United absolute great favours, you know. And I just look at tonight and I just think to myself, oh my God, we better not mess it up.
Yeah, better I'd not mess it up. And on the other side as well, we've been talking about Villa. They played tonight against Chelsea. Now, my full concentration is on Manchester United and them getting the 3 points tonight. But in that fixture, what do you think's the best result for United? Is it a Villa win, a Chelsea win, or a draw?
I'm not really too concerned which one wins, because if Villa win, listen, we play them, we have a mini break, come back, and then we've got Villa at home, so we can take it to Villa at home. So if Villa do win, fine. But if they win, then there's a little bit more of a gap towards Chelsea, and that's what you want. It eases pressure. And for United not to even play yesterday, and the pressure was eased, I'm just like laughing my head off. I'm looking at tonight and I'm thinking, just get a result.
Yeah.
Don't concentrate on the other sides, because at the end of the day, they're messing it up anyway.
What a game that's going to be, though. Whether Villa win, lose or draw against Chelsea,
yes.
When we then go back to our next fixture after Newcastle at home at Old Trafford, that's going to be a big game.
Big game. And
thinking of the atmosphere inside Old Trafford.
Oh yeah, listen, listen, the crowd will be right up for it. Everyone, it's a big game, and there'll be different type of pressure on it depending on the result there. But I just think United going into these games, 4 wins, 4 draws. That's how I see what we need to do, and 2 losses maximum. I can't really see United losing too many games. Tonight's game, you know, we know there's doubts about the defence, and we've just got to, we're going to take a look at it. I'm just hoping Shaw and Maguire are fit to start.
I know you've just mentioned what you think will achieve us the Champions League football. Did you just say 4 wins, 4 draws, and is that then 2 losses? But for me, the momentum is with Manchester United. You're looking at Villa, Liverpool, now Chelsea. We are the form team, and overall, we're the only unbeaten side in the Premier League in 2026. So every game that I'm going into, not looking too far ahead, but every game like tonight, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, Manchester United can get at these and they can go and get the 3 points. I'm really looking forward to this game tonight.
Yeah, definitely with the form team, and we can go at it. We've just got to contain them. We've got to be on the front foot, and we've got to be able to battle with them tonight, because it will be a battle. I look at Newcastle, and this is their. If I was a Newcastle fan, I'd say this is my last chance to get on a roll and to possibly try and snatch some type of European place. Can't rely on the Champions League, can't rely on the FA Cup. So for me, they have to win tonight, and they have to go on a little run. But I think it's very, very tough for them. So tonight, I think they'll pile everything in, and that is the pressure.
When you're talking about European football, though, you mean in surely 7th place with
anything.
I mean, where Newcastle currently are in the table. I mean, the teams above him as well. I think their best hope is maybe snatching 7th of the Conference League football. I mean, normally it's reserved for the winners of the Carabao Cup, isn't it? But that's obviously not going to.
Well, I look at it that if they go on a run, right, they'll be looking at Europa League or that Conference League. That's it. The way out the Champions League. But for a Newcastle fan tonight, it's all or nothing. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Because if they get beat tonight, I don't see them even achieving a European place. They'll be too absolutely overrun with the big games they've got and what they will look at and that's Champions League. But for United, it's a Champions League place. Getting a point tonight is the minimum requirement.
Yeah, it'd be good just to see him finishing the bottom half of the table for me and all I care. Paul's Jag says, before Carrick, I weren't too fussed about teams around us. Now I'm watching and hoping them results go our way.
Yeah, well, I look at Carrick and big test for him tonight. He's got to manage the difficult moments, and I think this is a big test for him. His use of the subs, particular, will be looked at, and let's hope he manages it right, because during the game there will be some tough moments. So for Carrick, I think this could go a long way for people giving him a shout for the manager, to be honest with you, because if he overcomes a Newcastle side and wins, the clamour for Carrick to be the manager will be massive. But like I say, a lot of difficult moments for him to overcome tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Newcastle, like we mentioned yesterday, have lost 5 out of the last 6 Premier League teams, and there's going to be, I think, a nervousness as well around the players tonight at Newcastle and the fans, especially if Manchester United start off bright and on the front foot as well. That's what I want to see from United tonight, a better controlling of the game than what we've seen really in the last, let's say, 3 games.
Yeah, well,
it's going to be needed.
It'll have to be a better United. They'll have to stand up to a lot of pressure, a lot of physicality and everything else like that. I'll look tonight and I'll look at the physicality. I'll look at the mentality and what it is, these 2 players, and it's Kuna and Mbeumo. They will have to be mentally on the game and physically, because the amount of work they've got to do and cover that pitch going forward and getting back and hoping that the defence doesn't get overrun. They will be up and down the run, up and down the line so much. So it's mentality, they have to get it right. But the physicality, that's where Carrick comes in, looking at managing the game the last 20, 25 minutes, if we're still in it or if we're winning.
Especially after that result last night, Liverpool collapsing against Wolves. I thought I'd do another live, Paul, on what was something we've mentioned as well last week, just to see if your opinions have changed. And I did ask you as well, will MUFC finish in the Premier League table? 81% now are saying 3rd place, 16% saying 4th, and only 3%, which has now just jumped up to 4, are saying outside of the top 4. Do you think we'll actually finish higher than 3rd? Let me know your thoughts and opinions on that in the chat.
I think tonight, if we get minimum a point, I think Champions League place is secured. I'm quite happy. 3rd, 4th, 5th gets you it. But I don't see us finishing 5th. I think possibly we could finish 3rd because with the Villa game coming up after the mini break, I think that's where United take it into him. I think they're tired. They've got a lot of injuries, Villa, when we play them. So for me, getting a result tonight goes a long way to that Villa game and heaps more pressure on Villa, because they are on a little bit of a slide. If they carry on the slide, if they get beat tonight, I think they could be in big trouble, to be honest.
Yeah, it looks like Martinez is out, if you listen to Michael Carrick's press conference yesterday. And one of the things I want to come away from this game with, apart from the 3 points, is no injuries, especially with us then having a break after this game, so all the players can regroup and get training together.
Yeah, well, that's what you want with this mini break. You want the players together. You don't want any more injuries. You want to make sure Shaw and Maguire, right, are 100% fit tonight. My only worry is not having one of the 3 main centre-backs. So I want Harry Maguire in there. You know, if you look at Martinez, if you look at Dillit, if you look at Harry Maguire, you want them in there. Yoro and Evan, my God, it will be difficult. A lot of pressure on them too. And Kieran did mention it. He wants Maguire, and I have to agree. Having Maguire there tonight, the physicality, and also for the opportunities when we get free kicks or corners, Maguire is right in there. He causes just ructions up there. But Yoro and Evan, I look at them tonight, is that an inexperienced duo going into this game, because you know Newcastle are going to be physical and they will come on the attack from all angles. So can they handle it? Big pressure, but we'll only see tonight. So let's hope that Maguire's in there.
They've got their own injury issues as well, though, Newcastle, aren't they? I don't think Voltemada, well, I think he's a doubt for this game.
Yeah, he's out.
Due to illness. You've got Bruno Guimaraes, you've got Livramento. You've also got a couple of their centre-halves who are injured, so they're not at full strength, even Newcastle. And when I did watch them against Everton last Saturday, I mean, Voltemada, anyway, was actually playing behind Anthony Gordon, who was the central striker.
Yeah, a lot of injuries are playing havoc without how they set up. Players playing out of position and everything. But we've had that problem. And Carrick has overcome that. He's put players in the right position. When you have players playing out of position on a regular basis, it's like experiments. And Newcastle are really suffering from it. We've had our injury problems, and it's hampered us. Newcastle have got it. I mean, losing as many games as they have done in the Premier League, that's not a good sign. But I just look at it and think, yes, they'll come at us, but then come the second half, hopefully we'll have held them, and then we can just use the gaps and create our own opportunities and just take it to them. I think they might run out of steam, Newcastle.
Yeah, you may have one or two decisions to make, obviously, with the late fitness test with Maguire and Luke Shaw. You know, if they don't make it, who comes in? Aidan Heaven, and then you'd say Mazraoui. But up top in the forward areas, do you keep with Benjamin Sesko or do you bring Ahmad back in?
No, you keep Benjamin Sesko. You keep Kuna, Sesko and Bumo there. Ahmad comes on. I mean, like I say, Carrick there using the subs, that's important. And if we're going at them and gaps are appearing, what a player to put on. Give Ahmad the ball, run into space, run at players, force them back. Very, very tricky. And at the end of the day, that's the last thing Newcastle will want. Some player as tricky as Ahmad coming at them. I just see fouls, possibly a sending off, and possibly a penalty, to be honest with you. But listen, bringing Ahmad on, that's the right way to go. Sesko's up there. Big, tall, strong, and he's alert and he's right on form. When you talk about Luke Shaw, I look at Luke Shaw if he starts tonight, even if it's Mazraoui tonight, and I look at Delo. Listen, them two have got to be spot on because if it is tonight, Yoro and Heaven, they will need all the help. So Shaw, Delo, they have to be 100% on it because Yoro and Heaven will need their experience and their help. So let's hope they're up for it.
I did also see a little bit of news just before we come live on the manager situation and linking Nagelsmann, who's the manager of Germany, which I will discuss shortly in today's video. But we were talking about the game. You predicted a 1-1 yesterday. Has it changed any? I'm seeing a smile off you there that it might have changed in favour of the 3 points tonight, especially after that Liverpool collapse last night. Do you think it's taken the pressure off a bit with United, or has it put more pressure on?
Look, because Liverpool got beat, it's eased the pressure on the players, on the fans tonight. But I'm sticking with me 1-1. I think that's a sensible score. I think there'll be a battle up there. So for me, 1-1 tonight, I'll be over the moon with it because all I've asked for, all I've wanted is United to keep getting points and because other teams will fade away, as we're seeing. And you want that gap to increase, which sort of like decreases the pressure on the players. I thought there was a lot of pressure when I look back on the Crystal Palace game. I thought it was just going to be a walk in the park. But to actually go third, I think that put pressure on the players in a different way. Sounds mad, I know. But I think the pressure's eased tonight. So for me, I'm still sticking with the 1-1. I'm not going over the top because it's Newcastle. It's under the lights. It's a night game. And the Geordies will be roaring because they know it's the last chance. They don't want to be humiliated by Manchester United. But they've done well against us up there. So that makes me hesitant.
Yeah, listen, I'd take a 1-0 right now if it means the 3 points for Manchester United. And I have seen some of your comments, particularly on yesterday's video, saying you'd take a draw. But that'll only be a good point if we then play Villa at home and get the 3 points against Villa. And then it's 4 points in 2 games. If we get a point tonight and then we don't get the 3 points against Villa, that then doesn't become a good point, in my opinion, against Newcastle. So, like I mentioned earlier on, I'm taking it game by game, but every game I'm going into, I'm thinking, and I'm confident, and it's genuine, that United will get the 3 points.
Listen, it's a good point tonight, no matter what. and you take game by game, Villa will be a different game. And whatever happens against Villa has no bearing on tonight. Tonight, get a point. That's all you want. This time of the year, you need to achieve Champions League football. Getting a point, that's what it's about. Just add it to the table, and then you move away from the people chasing you. And when Villa comes up, that's a different proposition. We don't know where we'll be with injuries, suspensions, or anything like that. And we don't know where Villa are. That game will be looked at, and you have to take it as it is. So for me, tonight, it's all about tonight. That's what it is. Last night, it was all about Liverpool, but it all turned out to be about Wolves, our favourite team at the moment.
Jalai from our members club says he's caught a live show. Morning, all morning to you.
Morning.
And good afternoon with the time now to every one of you out there. Get your thoughts and opinions in on tonight's game and smash that like button as well to support the channel and for a Manchester United win. Neil there, the birthday boy, saying it's my birthday today. Hope it's like my 18th birthday when Eric scored against Newcastle back in '96.
Happy birthday, son.
Oh God, is it all that time ago?
Yeah, all that time ago.
Time flies, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, listen, I'm not worrying about the past. I'm worrying about now. But like I say, I look tonight and I say to myself, I've got a feeling, I'm not sure if you asked me yesterday, who do I think will score? I think Sesko will score again. I did talk about the midfield yesterday, but I do think Sesko will score today. The kid is on fire. And I think they've got a problem, Newcastle. Like I say, they've got injuries and that, so that'll help. But for me, he's got the energy. He's got everything about him now. And I think he will put pressure on the Newcastle defence.
Robert Holden from our members club says, why not champions? Choo-choo.
No, that's way out. But, you know, I get it, choo-choo and all that, deluded. But there's no deluded at the moment from any of us. It's one game at a time, getting the points. That's all what matters. And that's what we're achieving. So for me, yeah, go on a big run of wins and all that. That'd be great. But it's one game at a time. And you have to look forward to the summer, to be honest with you. I was only thinking yesterday that whoever the manager is, you know, how big of a turnaround is needed this summer. I look at it and think, in a team what's going to challenge, and we have to challenge next year, you need 17 first-team starters, and then you need the rest who are like squad players, good squad players and that. We haven't got 17 first-team starters. We've got players out, injured and all that, who might have to be shipped out, who might have to be replaced. We've got players leaving. So where are we getting 17 first-teamers from? All good players ready to start. That is something we're going to take a look at. And I think you should all sort of like ponder on that and go, well, how many first-teamers have we really got? How many will we have when players leave? We don't know if Maguire's leaving, whether he'll be offered a contract, obviously reduced wages. That's been a conversation. We know Casemiro's going. We don't know who else is leaving. But you've got to have 17 players who will start, who will be fighting for them places. And we don't have that now, well, at this moment. But that suits Carrick because he's not changing the side. He knows the team and he's keeping it. He's keeping it the same way. He's keeping it at the same pace and everything.
Yeah, I've noticed a few more have started to join us now during the live video. So I'll repeat it. We've got a live poll currently going in the live chat. Where will Manchester United finish in the Premier League table? 80% third place, 15% fourth, and 6% outside of the top four.
I think I'll have to change my mind on that, the poll. I've been thinking about it. I think if we win tonight, I'd say we finished third. I'd say we finished third. There's no two ways about it. Because that, for us to win tonight... the
momentum's with us as well, though.
Yeah, the momentum's with us. And I think the pressure's off because it will virtually sort of say someone's got to have a really good run and we've got to be really poor. Well, we're not poor under Michael Carrick. We're a fighting side. We're a team. We might not be playing well in patches the last 3 games, but what you do see is a team fighting, and that's what you'll see tonight. So if we do get a win tonight, I think third, because then you look at who's next, and it is Villa. And, you know, Villa, they've got their own injury problems.
You're going 1-1. I'm going 3-2 Manchester United. Get your score prediction
3-2.
in the live chat. I'm sticking with it with what I said yesterday. Choo-choo. I'm driving that deluded train. RD United. Tough game tonight, but we have goals all across the front line. Totally agree with that, mate. Ross says, getting here late today. Hope everyone is well. We're all good here, mate. Hope you're all good out there. Timothy says, Manchester United to win 2-0 tonight. That's a good scoreline. I like that. And Nye Running says, what do you guys think? Will Sesko start or on the bench? She said Sesko will start. I do agree with that.
Yeah, you talk about the goals all over the pitch. The good thing is Mbeumo, he was scoring. I mean, fantastic form. Him and Ahmad, the partnership and all that. That partnership's not as quite as what it was early doors. But the thing is, there is goals all over the place. And that's what you like. Bruno throws them in. Kuna, Sesko, and Mbeumo. I think what we need is if Ahmad does come on or even start, I think he needs to start chipping in with a goal or two. But there is goals all over the place. And that's what frightens teams now. It really frightens teams because they know what United are capable of. If you look at the stats, how many chances United have created, how many chances Bruno's created, it's off the scale. Something a lot of us never thought, but we're converting them now. That's the difference. We're converting them. If you go back under Amarin, how many chances we was having and all that, and it wasn't going in. So what you see now is you're seeing proper footballers. And when we signed Kuna and when we signed Mbeumo, we signed Premier League experience. So it shows you what it does when you sign that experience.
I mean, Mbeumo's still our top goal scorer in the Premier League, but his last goal was against Tottenham, if I'm right, here at Old Trafford. And the way Carrick has man-managed his minutes with Benjamin Sesko, and the 3 games then after that, the last 3, he's come in and took that on, Benjamin Sesko, by getting the goals. Yeah,
well, they were on fire, United, so it was difficult, to change the team, and Carrick's not really one for changing the team. There's a nucleus of the team, and if they're doing well, they're doing well, and there's no arguments from anyone. There's no hysteria on the sidelines, and that's where Carrick will have to manage this team if he becomes the manager, because there will be hysteria, there will be people throwing a fit because they're not getting a game and that, because we'll have lots of games, and he will have to manage it. Different scenario for Michael Carrick if he's the manager next year. Everything changes. His man management will be tested.
Yeah, a lot of he's getting involved as well with your own score predictions. I can see one there from Gray saying 2-1 Manchester United. You just touched on briefly on Bruno Fernandes. I want to know your opinions out there, because I've seen a lot of chitter-chatter online and a couple of comments in the community that he's a good shout, Bruno Fernandes, for being the Premier League player of the season. I want to know your thoughts on that so we can discuss it in today's live show. Ray Cal Brown, thanks for your super chat. I've also got to apologise. I'm sure a week or 2 ago, my mate, you actually put a super chat in and I totally missed it. You know what I'm like by now if you're a regular viewer. My head's all over the gaff, especially when I'm giddy about Manchester United. So I do apologise, Ray. But he says we have a massive opportunity to go more clear of Liverpool. I really hope the boys take it.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's a massive opportunity, and you're right, to go clear of Liverpool. That's what you want. And you want to heap, as our rival, you want to heap as much pressure on them as you can. And put them in the mud, because, they would be laughing at it. Imagine if we was like in Liverpool's situation, spending £446 million in the summer, Premier League champions, and playing that type of football, because they've been garbage this year. They've been garbage. There's no 2 ways about it. Everyone's laughing at them. But if it was Manchester United, right, the media would be slaughtering us. I don't see anything out there, them getting slaughtered. Mo Salah, great servant for Liverpool and that. Yeah, he's getting old, he's getting tired. It wouldn't be the same for Man United. If it was a Man United player, he'd be getting slaughtered, right? But the media, they're not going at him. So every chance you get, heap the pressure on him, heap the abuse on him, throw laughter at them, because they deserve it, because they threw it at us. But that's par for the course. Yeah. But listen, anything what can heap the demise on Liverpool is absolutely fantastic. And having a win tonight and making them gaps bigger, that'll be great. But the best thing of all, what you want to save for laughter, is if they fall out of the Champions League place. That will be an absolute disaster for them, and that deserves a laugh on its own.
But we've had our own meltdowns, not some great times recently at Manchester United. So it's good to have our little moment as well and point the finger at Liverpool.
Yeah.
At them, because like you mentioned before, if the tables had been in reverse, you'd be seeing a lot of Scousers streaming in on not just this United channel, but other United channels as well, giving it us. And it's all very quiet right now out there with the Scousers. But Michael says, they'll never give Bruno any kind of award. It's all about agendas. And Bruno is seen in a bad light by rivals and the media. Do you all agree out there with that?
Yeah, I think he's seen. I think he's seen by a lot of people because they always go back, and it's been frustrating for us, probably you as well, right? His antics out there, where you've seen him running around, waving and going at the referee. Listen, most media and most fans look at Bruno and say he's never injured, but he's always on the floor rolling about and everything. So there is like an agenda against him. They won't ever credit him with his stats and everything else like that, or even put him in for an award. But hey, it's Manchester United. You know, we take the kick in the teeth, we take the abuse because we know we're the biggest and we're the best. Everyone wants to be Man United, so they won't give us credit. You're right.
I mean, he's way out in front than anybody else, Bruno Fernandes, with chances created in this Premier League season. And you're looking at the two teams above us and the teams around us. Is there any actual standout players in them teams this season that have done better than Bruno Fernandes? I'm really not too sure. I think he's a good shout if he continues his form or actually ups it a level or two towards now and the end of the season. But I did mention earlier on about a bit of news that I've seen before coming live on air, and it was to do with Nagelsmann. And it's Graham Bailey. I'm not too sure on his reporting whether he's up there with the top tiers or not, so let me know on that and take it with a pinch of salt if you want to. But he said, Nagelsmann has shown an interest in taking the Manchester United job, with intermediaries putting his name forward for the role, while a Bundesliga-based boss is also now firmly in the frame. One thing I do notice with these stories, it's always when Manchester United are due to play a game.
Yeah, but the story's telling you he's putting his name forward. He's putting his name forward. His intermediaries are putting his name forward. Well, everyone will be putting the name forward. Every agent will be putting their players forward. And that's why when reports like this come out, you've got to take them with a pinch of salt. I think United have someone in mind, but I also think they're holding back because this Michael Carrick phenomena, as we call it, revitalising Manchester United, has a long way to go. And by the time the middle of April comes, United will have to make a decision. But Nagelsmann, I don't see that, to be perfectly honest with you. I think United, I think Ineos have had so much luck with what's gone on since Carrick's been in there. They might have to change their mind. But I do hope that they're still out there talking. So there's no intermediaries. United have to talk to a manager. Well, Manchester United, there's no confirmation there that Manchester United are talking to him. So the story is, again, another media outlet coming out with possibly this, possibly that. But it's more from the manager's side, not from the club.
Yeah, I did go on to say that Ineos are not ready to hand Carrick the reins on a permanent basis and are continuing to do their due diligence on a range of other options. I mean, it's a big decision no matter what it is, whether they hand Michael Carrick the keys to Old Trafford, give him, let's say, a 2-year contract, or go out there and bring another manager in. It's a big, big decision. But one, I don't think they can fail on like they did with Ruben Amorim. Well,
the decision will be made middle of April, but I'll tell you what, if United win tonight and win in a convincing style, this game and this win will be right up there for Michael Carrick and put him in the spot for the manager. There's no two ways about it. You cannot ignore the run and the football and the points and how he's turned it round. You can't ignore that. So for me, getting a win tonight, he'll be right up there and he'll be smiling. And we know the press are going to start talking and saying, right, you've got to give him the job. But I just hope that United are still looking and talking to a manager, because it's what they want. It's not what we want, it's what they want from a manager. My only worry is you've got to rip it up and start again with a new manager. and I want a manager announced by the middle of April, because I just think I don't want to go to the end of the season with uncertainty. We need to know what's going on. I think once United have like proper cemented the Champions League place, that's when each day you'll sort of wake up and say, is it today they're going to announce the manager? I don't think they'll announce the manager until United have achieved Champions League place.
RD United has commented on the actual article I've just mentioned, and regarding Graham Bailey, he says, I think Bailey broke the Andre Onana news to Trabzonspor, so it might have some basis. Thanks for the update and your opinions on that. Robert says,
Good shout, lad. Good shout, that.
Yeah. If Carrick does well, there will be riots if he doesn't get the job.
Well, there'll be a lot of disgruntled and like people scratching their heads as if to say, well, what's the new manager going to do? What's the next manager going to do? How can you not pick Carrick? You want football, you want the results, you want United back up there challenging and all that. And he will have put United back in a position, back into Europe and everything. No one thought we'd get Europe. No one thought we'd get that, right? The way it was going, right? There's no way Ruben Amorim would have got these results and got this team playing as a team, fighting, because he was always changing positions for players, always making experiments. So at the end of the day, if we get Champions League football and we carry on and we only lose 2 games till the end of the season, right? Absolute, there will be a scream. I won't be happy because I think he will have deserved it, to be honest with you, and giving him a 2-year contract. I have no complaints about it. My only worry is don't stop looking for a manager. Keep talking, and that's what United have to be doing, because we don't know what's going to happen. And as people keep rightly pointing out to us, 1 game at a time. Take 1 game at a time. You know, stop getting giddy, Tony. That's what people say. Well, I've stopped getting giddy. But I'll tell you something. If we get beat tonight, I won't be slagging any of the players down or anything, because it's a team thing now. You talk about the team, individual players. We've got goal scorers. They'll do well. You've got to keep fighting. The whole team's got to keep fighting. So if you lose, we lose together. We lose together as a team. Whereas before, there were some outrageous performances by individual players and quite rightly got called out. But you can't call these players out now, right? Because they're in it together, okay? That's how I see it.
Yeah, Mick the Leg says United won't announce any manager until the end of the season, and I don't think any of us can really predict what Ineos will or won't actually do in terms of an announcement and installing a new manager, whether that's keeping Michael Carrick on a permanent basis. The thing for me is I don't want this to rumble on going into June. I need it sorting before the end of May. I mean, possibly, if Manchester United mathematically have actually secured a Champions League spot with, let's say, 3 games to go, I don't see the problem in announcing it then, to be honest.
Listen, if you look at Kuna and Mbumo transfer, that was well sorted well before the end of the season, okay? You need a manager in place.
Mbumo was.
Kuna Mbumo.
Mbumo was it? I was dragging on for 5 weeks.
Yeah, no, it dragged on, right, because of the fee, that's all. He was always coming to United, and he said it. Right, that's why no one ever got near him. Right, so Kuna and Mbumo was always coming to United. Okay, it was sorted beforehand. That's what you need.
You mean on the players' side? Yeah.
Yeah, it was started. Yeah. It was started. It just dragged on because of the money. People were playing games, but that's what you need, and you need it again this year. There's a World Cup. Let's not forget. It's a World Cup, and you need the manager in place. It needs to be announced in April, and there needs to be a plan. You don't wait till the end of the season. These players are going to go off to the World Cup, okay? Carrick, what's he going to do if he's not announced? He needs his future sorting, okay? And any potential manager coming in, he needs his future sorting. And he needs to get on with a plan with this club, with the men in suits, and get players in. We're going to have a big recruitment. Don't wait till the end of the season. There's no point. Once qualification, right, is cemented, that's the time when it'll be announced. That's the time it should be announced, in my opinion.
Volp says, is tonight our hardest game that we've got left? He says, yes. Naguib says, Newcastle is a very dangerous game as we've not been playing well. I mean, in terms of the head-to-head, I mean, I don't think we've done the double over Newcastle in terms of the Premier League games since 2020-21 season. And I think we've lost our last 3 up there at St James's Park. But I think we all know it's going to be a tough game. Whether you're confident thinking United are going to get the points like myself, I do think it'll still be a tight game.
No, I think the hardest games, right? People might say Liverpool or Chelsea. No, we compete with them teams. That's no problem. We always rise up for them. Well, lately anyway. Okay. So we're capable of beating them on the day. I think the hardest games might surprise you. I think Bournemouth away on the Friday night could be the hardest, along with Brentford. So for me, they're the 2 hardest games I look at going forward. So that might surprise a few people. But Liverpool, Chelsea, we've got, I think, no problem with that. And I also think no problem with Aston Villa. Competing-wise, whether we get a draw or not, that's still a result as far as I'm concerned. But it's the Bournemouth and it's the Brentford game what worry me, because they've got nothing to lose. Brentford certainly haven't got nothing to lose. They will go at it. They are looking for a European spot, whether it's in the Conference or in the Europa. They go on a run. And we know what happened. I mean, I had a meltdown. I think everyone else had a meltdown when we played Brentford away. That was terrible. But Brentford had a football inside.
Yeah, we did. That was shocking, that Brentford game away earlier on this season. I mean, probably one of the worst I've seen, to be honest. But just going back into the chat, but looking at the live poll that we've got currently going on, and they asked you all, where will MUFC finish in the Premier League table? This has gone slightly down from what it was at the start of the video. It's on 78%, finishing 3rd place, 17% saying 4th, and 5% saying outside of the top 4.
Well, like I say, if we win tonight, I think we'll go 3rd. But ask me tomorrow after a draw. Let's see how Villa and Chelsea get on. But listen, whatever happens, it's a team game, and Manchester United are playing a team game. They're all fighting for each other. We've not got prima donnas who are out on the pitch like your Rashford, your Garnacho, who weren't team players. And that is the difference we've got. We've got players now playing for each other as a team, for Manchester United, playing for the badge. And they want to get that Champions League football. They don't want it to fade away. Some players are going to leave in the summer, but they're fighting. They're fighting for Manchester United.
Skinny says it's a Cesco brace. It seals the deal tonight. Gareth says, I agree with Tony on Bournemouth and Brentford games. A win tonight makes a statement. Let us know your thoughts and opinions. Carry on in the comments section. Just like to thank you all for joining us live, getting your opinions in. Smash that like button for a Manchester United win, and we'll be back straight after the game tonight with the 3 points. So come and join us, get that notification on, and enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you later on. Much love. Thank you.
Thank you.